That extra pro gamer, that is a very obvious bait, and I'm not touching that one. That won't fool me.
Oh my god, thank you.
That will not fool me.
Jesus Christ.
I was gonna say, I don't think he hit beacon.
I'm chilling, dude.
Oh yeah.
What floor was the Eva at?
First floor on my bedroom.
Yo, Inhume, thanks for the tier 1 sub, man. I appreciate that. All right. No, seriously, man, that means a lot. Thank you so much. So, this is a very obvious, if you aren't familiar with endgame circles and competitive, this is a very obvious circle. I forget exactly where it ends. Again, I was pretty drunk when I watched this live. For those of you just joining, I promise I'm not an alcoholic. When I play, I don't usually drink. But anyways, it usually ends somewhere in this area. So again, a pretty tough circle for them to come in on, because the last circle was all the way up here. It's literally the worst circle possible for them. This one, they're still gonna have a pretty slow rotation, so they're gonna, I wouldn't be surprised to see them work their way north again, because typically when you think of rotations for circles, you want to think of where most teams are going to come from, and most teams are going to come from basically this area. Somewhere on this half of the circle, most teams are going to be or trying to at least initially rotate from here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them wrap all the way north again and go around, because that's just going to be the area of least congestion. I wouldn't be surprised. That's just a guess. We'll see how it actually plays out. I don't fucking know.
That's good as possible.
All right, I think vaults are almost always worth it. So like
R3.
when it comes to like fast rotations, like this, or wanting to fast rotate, as a pat team, you almost always want to fast rotate. But when it comes to not only a vault, but also a gold loot bot, like that gold cargo bot, if you're on the edge, like this team is, right, compared to where the circle was, it's just better to go for the vault and the gold cargo bot. If you can't get a super good rotation, a super fast rotation, sometimes it's better to, like, for your IGL to be like, hey,
gold armor here.
We're not going to really get there in a good time. Let's just loot up a little bit more, because they got 2 whites, right? This is so worth it. This is so worth it. Even though as a pat team, though, you want to be constantly pushing and getting the good spot. This is worth it. Them being a little bit late for getting rid of one of the whites for a gold is really, really worth it.
Let's go here too. They're killing a team.
All right, let's take a look at what's actually going on right now.
So we're gonna end up running into them there.
Yeah.
Like I said, not surprised if they go up and around
We can
north.
set a trap for them if you're confident.
No reason to really run through cap. That shit's kind
we can. I'd rather cut across
scary.
and play rotate. I'd rather cut across and play rotate.
Okay, let's play where Bowser wants to go. Bowser, where do you want to go here? Where do you want to go?
Thank you, fella, man. I appreciate that, man. Wig is one of my favorite streamers too, dude. Honestly, this man is so fucking inspiring.
Check what's here, and then if not, we can go left.
I agree with this.
Just so you know.
Yeah, you're good, you're good.
I like this call so far.
I have no stock yet, dude. This is insane.
They're on here. They're the team here. The fucking big building. Above you, Bow?
Yeah, shut that. Yeah, up there. I'm fine. I'm chilling.
Yes, pro gamer I do. This is the best version of NRG we've seen.
Boys are pretty serious.
You're missing everything.
It might drop.
Diner and 4-story.
Are both taken?
Yes, both taken. Diner and 4.
I'm actually surprised. No, I thought they were gonna go further north and go around. I was surprised they didn't. Let's talk about this for a bit though. I agree, Wick. I do think it's the death rotation as well. Like I said, most people are rotating from basically this part of the circle. Anytime you're doing a big rotation, as I said earlier, you always want to rotate in from the least congested side, which is why I said, like, I'm surprised they didn't do the same thing where they went north and just went back around. And I don't know how this game ends for them, so I don't want to say that it's going to be like the end of them, but it's going to, like, putting yourself in a very highly congested area. Like, take a look at this. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 buildings in cap that could in theory hold a team each. That's like, this is the kind of rotation you kind of want to get away from. They know, I'm pretty sure 1000%, if Bowser's the circle caller, then Bowser certainly knows this. They probably all as players know this. The circle ain't ending down here. This is a very obvious circle that usually ends somewhere out here by the train station. So I'm very surprised they opted for this rotation instead of like going all the way like kind of up and around, because at most you get maybe 1 to 2 teams coming from this angle in general. So the only thing I can really think of is maybe they want to avoid complexity, because complexity lands survey and epi, but I don't think that's something I heard in their comms. I don't know, but certainly planning your rotation around where teams go and their own rotations as well. Yo, a scan train. Move forward.
Yeah.
You want to do it?
Move south.
I could. I
I
think.
feel like anyone who sits here gets fucked by this, right? So if we rotate here, we can pressure a team out over here and then
Okay.
move in.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
I want to do that then instead.
Yeah, I think that might be the move.
You
dude.
think it's too
I
late,
feel
or you
like-
think
I
we
feel
could?
like No, I don't think it's too late. That's a late rotation. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna portal us away from these teams. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with
yeah.
it.
I don't think
Go for it.
Yeah.
No problem.
I like this call actually. I did not expect this from Six, but I think basically his call is I think he wants to rotate back around, get to the other side of the circle,
And then get to the other
and
side.
potentially like pick these teams off that are.
Can we make it like this?
I don't
I
think
like
so. I think
this.
we go around this way.
I like it a lot better than just sitting there and brute forcing that one building because that will eventually lead to death probably.
Okay. I think we get in here regardless. Like I feel like there's not enough teams that are gonna be on that side.
I don't think there's a smart enough teams to do that.
I'll tell
Just
Shaheen
watch
on
the
him.
zip. These kids might mirror us this way. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Because they're well, the thing is, that's gotta be a bad team, dude.
I don't think, unless they're like super greedy for kills, I don't even see why they would sit up there for
They would
kills
have to
anyway.
be, yeah, I don't know. They would have
think
to be
it's
like a Jibbu team.
We still have a couple bad teams in lobby though. Don't forget that.
All right, Six, calm
This is a
down.
full alpha lobby.
All right, Six, like
That's a bad move, even as
I get it, you're a good player, bro, but like, come on, man,
There's
it's
no
all
area to
healthy
get closer, so I'm
competition.
not really sure what's going on.
Just kidding, everybody does that.
All right,
Totally agree.
keep comms clear here. Okay,
I don't have
so-
poke to bully tower, by the way.
Okay. All right, so we play the other side. Come here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play this. And we're gonna move up these rocks. That's how we get to this. That's how we get.
I like this a little
do,
bit
do, do.
less, but we'll see what happens.
I just have to imagine the fight one or two teams, honestly.
We'll see how. I mean, not saying it won't work out. Obviously, they won the tournament. We'll see how it works.
Oh me.
Yeah. But remember, this is all mad rocks here. Mad rocks here. Should be
There's a lot of cover. There's a lot of cover, but there's also like if you get caught in a bad spot, it could be very bad.
I'm gonna stay up there. I'm gonna stay up there.
Okay.
I'm just worried about a team coming behind us.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I think we should, yeah, we should definitely
Okay.
stay up.
Okay. We can wait. We can wait. There's no real downside of waiting, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I think it's only positive to stay up and wait.
Okay.
Team here.
Okay.
I'm gonna peek.
I am surprised they took this entire like just the rotation on the south side. Because like the last game to get into Skyhook, they went up and around like it was talking about the north rotation, and that made it simple. Surprised they didn't do that one again, but that one can be a little bit risky. There's a lot of like open area to get caught out in.
Diner left, by the way.
Okay.
Diner left.
Yeah, exactly, Crash.
There's a team. We're coming through tunnel. Team coming through tunnel.
I'm here.
There's no way they take this, right?
I'm marking that.
What up, Mini?
Oh, I beamed almost all of them. I beamed all three of them. We gotta get out here though.
But we're gonna get gate kept.
He's gonna get yes.
Yes, yes.
Portaling now. Portaling now. I have an arc for this portal. Right here.
Popping a syringe. Popping a syringe. Care.
Almost cracked on me.
One shot dead.
I might die here. I'm dead. I'm dead.
Big nade! Big nade!
I'm going.
Nade!
They went us.
Shit!
I've never.
There's some.
Press, I'm watching.
I played
Go,
at
go, go,
LAN
go, go.
with Six, and I've never heard
Nice
him
job, 6.
talk the way he
I'm
is.
resting. I'm resting.
Another kid.
Nice job. Nice job. Nice job, boys. Shit.
I'm popping a bat. Popping a bat.
Yep, yep. Off the bat.
Heal
Yep.
up, heal quick.
I have no heals. I have no white heals.
Here.
I can't loot in the open or die. Yeah.
Pop this shit. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Portaling now. I have an arc for this portal. Right here.
All right, they're coming out of the circle here.
Syringe. Care.
Almost cracked on me.
Huge
One shot
cover.
dead.
Huge cover by Wig on Bowser.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
Big nade! Big nade!
I'm going.
Nade!
Here's
They
what.
went us.
Shit! Yo, just press.
Yes, there's some. There's some.
Press, I'm watching.
Okay, okay, going. Nice job, 6.
Good stuff. That was big.
I'm resting. I'm resting.
Another kid.
I expected
nice
Bowser
job.
to go down a lot sooner, but that was a really good cover
Nice job, boys.
for the time being, at least.
I'm popping a bat. Popping a bat.
Yep. Off the bat.
Yo, heal
Yep.
up, quick, heal quick.
Does
I have
she
no
say
heals, I have
my
no white heals.
sinuses are firing again?
I can't loot in the open or die. Yeah.
I'm a Watson main, and I feel like I've heard that so many times, and I'm like, that's a weird thing to say. Synapses.
Yes, we fucked
Duh.
these kids. We take portal or no?
Just because
I don't think so,
having
right?
this fucking
No.
say it made me realize
Okay, one second. Is
synapses.
there an on and 9 in there? Is there an on and 9 in there?
That makes more sense.
Yes, yes.
I thought sinuses. I'm like,
Take it.
okay, like I get it. You're
I'm good.
breathing.
I'm good. Okay. I'm good. All right,
Sorry.
let's start going. Let's
Good
go.
pick,
We
good
start going.
Yeah, I'm ready.
There's a team looking at us on that top right. Don't forget about that, okay?
Okay.
All right, they were holding high ground here, so they could still be here.
They definitely are. They're not gonna give this up.
I mean, it's only
They are.
freedom. I'll be honest. It's the only reason I did it was because
Give me
most
one, give me
people
one.
that say that
They bubbled. I'm gonna throw
are.
the bubble.
That's all. That's my bad. That's my bad for that assumption.
I need to heal.
I'm
6, you're by yourself. We need to get the 6. We need to get the 6 now.
All right.
Six dead. He's dead. He's dead.
Just stabilize.
That was, I remember watching that. I think we watched this actually, Jamerson. That fucking spray was nuts right there in
Yeah,
midair.
I'm healing as well. I'm healing as well. Good shot, boys.
He got finished. They finished the kill for us.
That's not a good team. That's not a good team up there.
Correct. It's another bad team.
Come on, boys. Just because we don't know the South American region, just, I mean,
Northwest. I want to go loot that kid.
I think we need to go there now anyway. We need to go there now anyway.
Where?
To the top left, right?
Can you cover me? I'm going for the box.
I'm coming.
What's that portal on the left?
We need to set up here. We need to take this right now.
a lot of conflicting calls.
Just letting you know. Just letting you know. Nice.
A lot of conflicting calls, but they ended up deciding.
Almost cracked on me. Almost cracked on me. There's a wraith. I have no light ammo. Is there any light ammo down there?
I have very low.
I can drop. I'm dropping 60 right
Okay,
here.
thank you. I only have 50.
Putting 10 up.
Nice.
I'm gonna loot. Give me comms. I'm gonna
Yeah,
loot.
you're good.
Comms are everything, man. Honestly, a lot of the things that separate the very, very top teams from teams that are just kind of close to being the top teams are just their ability to comm, how descriptive they are, and how consistent their comms are.
All right, we gotta. Watson's probably playing underneath bridge. I'm gonna portal down the bridge. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have accelerate? I have one accelerant. I'm gonna do this.
Go for it.
Give me comms.
Yeah, there's no really fucking good team that has bad comms. It's just not. Those don't go hand in hand.
Be careful. Watch for a team of
Something I'm working with my team on a lot. Their comms are very
Nice.
lackluster.
Huge kill.
I'm taking port back.
Any light ammo on him, 6?
Yes, 106, and it's covered. You can take this.
I'm coming, buddy. I'm coming. Thank you.
I'm watching train.
Yep.
Okay.
Rotation's working out. I really like that.
I'm taking back, all right, buddy?
Rather than being in like that death spot,
Yep.
surrounded by buildings full of teams, I like how they took themselves out of that position and put themselves in a way stronger position. Very smart of them.
I'm coming with you. I totally agree. I'm coming with. I'm shadowing.
They're not playing.
No, they're
They're getting
fighting.
shot at. We could probably kill them here.
I'm coming. I'm looking up.
I'm looking for a pick.
I'm moving with you, bro.
Right here. He's selling.
I think I remember this part. I
Knocked one. Rocker.
think we watched them when they were at least up on the hill.
Rocker's dead here.
Wait for energy. Look for energy.
Big patience.
Kill this kid. Kill the bottom. 150.
I'm pushing.
One down on both sides.
Big pinch right here. This is a huge
I'm
pinch.
nading up front. I'm nading.
No, there's Zeds.
Almost cracked one.
The last one.
Dead.
Pushing the other team.
Yep, I'm healing. I'm coming to you now.
Coming to you,
130 on blue.
I'm coming.
Back.
God, Wig was feeling it. Oh my god.
All dead.
Wig was feeling it today. Holy shit. This day at
I
least.
can't. I have none. I have no nades.
I'm pushing.
Okay, I'm coming.
I have no bullets.
You need to get bullets then.
Yeah. I'm good.
I love that call.
Almost cracked one.
I need bullets. You need to get bullets.
Weak, 80.
Nice.
Have you seen them in columns, right?
Watch it run.
6 actually griefed him right there. That shield saved him.
Yeah, I'm healing up.
I'm popping it back.
Yes, pop that.
We can res this after he heals.
Yes.
Bowser, one push.
Watch push, Bell. I'm resing.
Thanks for that.
We're good. Stabilize.
They're gonna start swinging left.
Yeah, they're swinging. I need help. I need to pop it back. Popping cells.
I am very surprised no one's at their backs
I'm
right
popping
now.
cells again.
Maybe 2.
Watson's broken.
Again, a lot of teams dead.
One cracked on one of them. Another one.
Last guy.
What did he say there?
Wing.
One cracked.
Yes. Play zone instead.
Heal us down.
We're safe here.
I got Crayburn.
Okay.
Wow, Cyril almost got a twofer right there.
They're gonna push
That was
this.
a collat right there, actually. Holy shit, big.
All squads down. Look out, grenade.
That was hectic as fuck.
Try to stay up.
Really just good all around. Like, it's all comms, man.
I'm alright.
It's all comms.
I'm pushing him.
Can't get through that enough.
White armor.
Okay.
Care for nades.
I have no armor. No cells.
Shield.
Patching myself up.
I have no cells. 6.
Cell. Oh, here, I have cells. I got you.
I need light ammo. You have light ammo?
No. Here's 20.
Thank you.
We can sell adorable, isn't he?
Can we res this?
These comms aren't too
Yes,
clever,
stick.
actually. Maybe I disagree.
The raid's broken. The other kid's white armor. There you
Gibraltar one.
They're not saying anything that's not useful.
I'm pushing this idiot.
Dead!
One down, all dead, all dead, all dead.
Nice, nice. I'm staying up. I'm staying
Maybe
up.
that one thing right there, but I disagree.
Yes, we're
Actually.
good. Let's go.
Need light.
I have 0 light. I have 0 light. 0 light, 0 heals. 0 light, 0 heals.
When I think cluttered, I think them saying things that don't matter.
I'm going for this loot, dude.
Everything they're saying is very
Okay,
relevant
okay.
to their situation. All right, so we saw a shit ton
I
of things happen there.
need stuff.
Okay.
I have no light, no light, no.
We saw a lot of shit just happen now. They had a beautiful pinch on, what was it, NRG, and that's one team, I forget the name of them. They had an absolutely beautiful pinch on them over here in the choke. Like super good teamwork. Like that, those comms are the reason why their teamwork was so high there, is because, like, yes, you could argue like, oh, you say something once and like that's all you need, you know, but trust me, my boys, they say a lot of things only once and then someone's like, wait, I didn't hear what you said. They calm everything that's important and they calm everything that needs to be until it's understood, and I think that's really important. The teams that, like, Apex's audio, I think we can all agree, kind of blows at times. So the teams that overcom, that rely on just telling your team what to do, telling your team what you're doing, and so how they can play off of that, is better than actually just playing for like sound and whatnot. I think overcoming, me and Six used to talk about this a lot. I think overcoming is actually like a really good thing in this game, at least. Like if you're playing Valorant or something and you're on these comms, yeah, absolutely they're too cluttered. But this isn't Valorant. Every half second in this game can determine whether or not your entire team gets wiped. 1,002 millimeters or 10,002 millimeters. Thanks for the follow. What's up, Mango? Like the important thing, your comms are never cluttered as long as what you are saying gets across to your entire team. I disagree. I don't think your comms are ever too cluttered.
No cells. Thank you.
I firmly believe their energy and the way they're calming and the way they're talking to each other and how they're playing, all of that is the reason they're doing well. I've never heard this energy from this team before, and with them being like that hyped and that loud, like that energy like literally transcends into your gameplay. I've never seen a team just calmly like fucking wipe everybody and calmly calm what to do. Listen to TSM, their calls are hectic. Complexity's calls are hectic as fuck. Like I was actually I'm telling this to my team now as well, because I think their comms are lacking. Like you need to calm every single fight like you don't want to fucking lose it. You need to calm every single fight like it's your last fight, because if you slack up on it, that's when you start to kind of like fade. Complexity's VOD review that I did was literally what I was talking about, or what I'm talking about right now. Complexity, I think the only places they failed in this tournament were when their comms all of a sudden lacked. When they didn't have that energy for one fight, they collapsed. I don't think their comms are too cluttered. Like I said, if they were speaking over each other and certain parts weren't being heard and understood, then yes. But as long as they're getting the point across and the other players listening, that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yo, where do we want to go here? Where do we want to go? Think of cells. Think of zone.
I don't have portal.
Okay, what about?
We need to get under.
Like, are they repeating a lot of things? Yes. But are they
I was touching
also
both on top.
subsequently understanding what they're saying? Yes.
No, they don't.
No.
They're hyped, dude.
94%. We're gonna have to go down.
They know they're playing really fucking well.
Okay.
I got portal right
All right,
now.
this is gonna be
Go
rough.
now. I think we go under house. Go under house, right?
That's so many kills they just picked up though. Holy shit.
I can't cover.
I'm covering with us.
I'm putting impotence.
I'm coming.
Swinging right side. Here,
Going under.
I'm under as well.
Notice how no matter what they do, even though they repeat it like 5 fucking times, no matter what they do, they're always doing the same thing. You listen to any team that calms slowly or calms like quietly, doesn't calm as much. This type of like chemistry doesn't happen.
I'm under. Play for them to drop.
Yes. Play safe.
Play for them to
Yeah,
drop.
Finch, I wanted Six's view. I've messaged him for it, but yeah, I know he had problems with his internet.
Walk zone. Play for them to drop. There's a portal here. That's where they're gonna go. I'm going up. They're there. Beating the race score. Race 1. Race down.
Got him.
I got knocked. It's just you, Six. Just you alive.
Shit.
Stay down. They don't know you're there. They're fighting.
Comms are so important, Clean. It's literally what, like, most of these teams, you don't have to be complexity to stand up to a lot of these teams. Like I was, this is something I was telling my team. Here, actually, we'll let this play through, and I'll get to that. Oh, okay, yeah. But notice, I mean, that was a tough rotate. That was a really tough rotate. But notice that as soon as things start to go south, I mean, it's obviously a lot of the situation as well. But both Browser and Nicewig kind of, they don't say anything here because there's so much going on. They're just trying to process it. The 6 is the only one calming here. They might have been able to get out of this live. I don't really know. It's hard to say. But notice how the second that they start to be quiet on the comms, things start to go south a little bit. Obviously, they still did very well.
Got him!
But like, you didn't hear either Bowser or Wig calling for help or anything like that. Not saying they didn't play it well, but that's just what I'm talking about. This is literally something I'm talking about with my team actively, because I think our comms are suffering a shit ton on Liquid. Most of these teams know how to 3v3, but the thing that changes, like, I think that one of the best examples, and I know it's a tried example, it's been talked about a lot, is actually TSM. TSM is one of the biggest examples of consistency in comms. It doesn't matter if they're in a tournament for $500,000 in Poland or if they're in scrims. Their comms are almost always the same, which is why they're just, it doesn't matter when you fight them, it's still going to be really fucking hard for you to fight them because their comms are always the same. They treat every fight like it's going to be their last. So, and I think that's a big thing that separates them. Their chemistry is insane because they always know what each other are doing because they're always saying it. They're literally always saying it. You don't have to micro your teammates. You don't have to be yelling what your teammates should do. But the more information you give to your team about you and what's happening to you, the better. Like, everyone here is a pro player. The more you tell your entire team what you're doing and what's going on, the more your team will play around you. If you say nothing, then everyone's just going to play on their own ones. And it's the teams that almost overcalm. Overcalming is better than undercalming. I will always stand by that. Overcalming is so much better than undercalming. But that's game 2. I don't remember exactly what their points were.
Fuck off of that!
That was fucking sick, boys.
My fucking game crashed!
I've never heard somebody so hype about their game crashing, baby. Let's go, dude. They were so much fun to watch the entire fucking time, bro. I just wanted to watch them for the entire tournament.
That lobby?
Yeah, dude. Yo, I made up the last game, bro. I dropped almost.
That energy is the bit, like, this team has always been good, but that energy and the comms and everything, I've never heard them play like that in my fucking life. And I'm not even surprised they won this tournament, and like pretty fucking decisively, bro. It's all energy, man. Energy is contagious. You have a teammate with really strong energy, keeping the vibes up, keeping the comms up, like, you will do well. Unless the other two are just complete Debbie Downers and hate life or something. Which, that's okay too.
2K on 301 massive, dude.
Let's go! 6!
I brought it back, baby.